Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Tuesday, the 4th of June. Starting off with the S&P, which had a nice little dip towards the 50-day line. That's the blue line there, currently around 51.80, and the fact that we bounced above it and then rallied well with basically two consecutive hammer candles suggests that there is some strength there. We're also back above the old 52.64 peak, the record peak that we had back in March, and while there's no end of day close back below 52.64, looking for that blue resistance line projection from the beginning of September, 54.80, as soon as the end of this month. Might have to stretch it into July, but you get the picture. On the downside, not expecting anything lower than that uptrend line from October, 51.80. Moving on to the Nasdaq, and here the Nasdaq 100, same kind of very strong hammer candle that we had on Friday and yesterday as well, bouncing above the rising 50-day line, so pretty impressive there on all counts. 18,400, the line in the sand in terms of the potential support there, which was basically yesterday's support, and above that, looking for this market to progress up towards the top of the rising trend channel from back in September, as high as 19,700, and that could happen as soon as the end of this month, but once again, possibility of stretching that into July. This stage really well below 18,000, really making this market look like a negative situation or a topping out situation. Moving on to the stocks, and plenty of goodies today. The first one is affirmed, where we actually nudged our previous triangle top target there towards $8.80 yesterday. High 882, so actually effectively hit that line right on the nose. Above that, on an end of day close basis, looking for $11.20 or so, which is was the old peak there. In fact, the peak there back in May last year, $11.10, and that is the destination. Hopefully by the end of next month, while we remain above recent I suppose the half the trading range of yesterday, around the $6.20 level, so looking for that to hold. Only back below the 50-day line, $5.33, really upsetting the apple cart there. Another situation which is say on fire at the moment is Agios, and here you can see that once again we hit our target there, the up rising trend channel there from September, right on the nose, 43.40, and above that looking for a fresh leg to the upside, the upper parallel of that rising trend channel from September heading towards 54.50, and we're looking for that by the end of next month, especially while we remain on the right side of recent resistance, last week's resistance, 39.70 on an end of day close basis. Another decent situation, Biopath, and here, although it took a bit longer for the shares to emerge from their falling wedge, which has been in place since October, looks like we've finally done it, and resting on the 50-day line. Can't rule out a further test for support below $3, but at least we're on the right side of $3, or if we get another end-of-day close above that, then we're looking for the post-March resistance, $7.50 or so by the end of next month, but expect that to be a slightly rocky ride. As you can see, all the way down, we've had one-day rallies which were sold into quite aggressively, so maybe one has to be slightly careful there. On to CareCloud, which apart from having a cute name, looks as though it's in a mid-move consolidation ahead of a further move to the upside. The favored destination there, the one-year resistance line target from this time last year, $4. Looking for that by the end of this month, while we remain on the right side of 280, basically, the floor of yesterday's range, maybe 270 if you're fussy on that, but it looks as though we're ready to move. Another stock which has had lots of coverage here is Dogness, largely because of the strange name, but also because of the loyalty to that rising trend channel from back in November. The top of the channel there at $12. Now that we've broken that, looking for a fresh leg to the upside, the upper parallel of that channel, a September resistance line at $17.80 by the end of next month, or even sooner. Obviously, we already spiked yesterday to $16.75, so there could be much more on offer there from that stock. On to GameStop, which is perhaps one of the best calls made here ever in the US Chartbreakers, given that it was covered on Sunday. We were looking for the top of that channel there towards $34, and we actually got a bit more than that after the, or before E-Trade, etc., tried to throw cold water on that situation, but it looks as though it will be rather difficult to pour cold water on that situation. Floor of the gap there at $23.60, and above that we're still looking for a retest of $33, and then perhaps by the end of next month up to $51, the upper parallel of that rising trend channel. But the key here, holding the floor of that channel and the gap there, 23.40. Next up is something which is not quite so high profile, but maybe. Here we've got iPower, which has hit our second target there, $2.30. Above that, looking for a retest of last month's resistance and push towards $3.50 by the end of this month, hopefully much sooner than that. Moving on to another stock which has been championed here in the recent past and hopefully will continue to be so, Larimar. Here we've got push above the 50-day moving average in the floor of that channel there from last summer, around $7.10. And recent break of recent resistance, rather $8.40, suggests that we could head up to $11.20 at the top of that channel sometime during the course of June. A new name for us is coming up with Marine Max, and here massive gap to the upside. It's a bear trap island reversal. In fact, it's a double bear trap island reversal with the two gaps to the downside. Then the massive gap up yesterday above the recent resistance, February-April resistance at 33.90 on an end of day close basis. We're looking for the top of that broadening triangle from last summer, as high as $42 plus by the end of this month. One of our favorite situations is coming up next, Novavax, and here you'll see why. We're just breaking out of the, well, I suppose it's an extended bull flag, but breaking through or past our second target there, $16.60, and above that looking for a fresh leg to the upside, hopefully up towards the old November 2022 resistance, towards $25.60, and looking for that by the end of this month. Next up is Nvidia, arguably the greatest stock at the moment anywhere in the world. We have that rising trend channel, the red one there, from back in July, August last year. Top of that channel normally at 11.30 and above 11.30 on an end of day close. Looking for an acceleration to the upside, a steeper resistance line there from back in November, and that's heading for as high as $12.70, which we're looking for hopefully by the end of next month, giving it a bit of time given the way that obviously we've come up a long way in a very short time. But if you're cautious, probably wait for an end of day close to 11.50 just to be sure that 12.60 or 12.70 is on its way. On the downside, don't really want to see the shares at any time go back below the top of that latest gap, $1,020 on an end of day close basis. On to the last three, and the first one is Omeros, and here you can see that we bounced off the floor of that rising trend channel from back in September. 50-day line there as well, around $3.50, and the longer we stay above that combo, the greater the chance of a move up to $6.40 by the end of next month, or even sooner than that. Pulse has been a decent situation as well. Here you can see that we've got this bull flag breakout in progress. Recent resistance back in March around the $11.60 level, and above that looking for a minimum up to $16 by the end of this month. Hopefully it would be rather sooner than that, and we can upgrade the upside target. Finishing off with a decent situation, we hope, in the form of Stericycle, a nice little bull flag based at the rising 50-day line, $49, above 49, looking for the top of that rising trend channel from basically the March period of last year, and that's just shy of $60. So hopefully we'll see that by the end of this month. Nice little W-shaped reversal there, bouncing off the floor of the channel. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.